Hey guys, it's Susan. So I'm here with 15-minute feedback. So if you don't know what 15-minute feedback is, it's actually an opportunity for the members of our inner circle to get me to take a deeper look at their site, answer a couple of their burning questions, and give them three action steps, three things that they can work on that I think will get them the biggest bang for their buck. So might not be anything that costs money, but three things that they could do that would get them more traffic and sales. So this month we're working on the upfiler.com. Trish is a member of our inner circle and she's been quite active in the group, and I think I can help her. So let's just jump in and take a look. I'm going to share my screen here. Here is the upfiler. Her question was, her big burning question was that she thinks she's not finding the right people. She's not been able to build her audience in a way that is cost effective, and she just feels like it's not quite right. And she has asked many times in the inner circle for some help, and she's had some help. But now that I've had a deeper look, I think I have some ideas for you, Trish. So what I would say is my first takeaway after having a good look at your Facebook page and at your website is that you're talking to people who own businesses much more than people who are using the upfiler for home use. When I look at your page, it seems to be very focused on people who own businesses. When I look at your website, same thing. And so I think that you have an image that this one here, that we've seen many times in the group, and that perhaps you are using for social media too. And I think it's confusing, and I think that you're trying to appeal to someone at home, maybe a mom who's filing permission forms and bills that need to be paid, and the office person. And so what I would say to you is that because it looks like you're very focused on business and design and business strategy when you're doing engagement posts on your Facebook page, I think that you need to decide whether it's worth trying to find those home people right now, those people who are going to use it for their home. I'm wondering if it's really worth it to focus on that. And here's why I say that. I think that if you put all your focus and all your attention on one thing, and you've made that decision because you've watched the clues, and I know you have people who have purchased, I know you saw on Amazon, so see who's buying. And if it is business people, then what I would do is I would stop talking and maybe stop showing images to people who might use it for their home, and focus hard on business people. And the reason I say to do that is because if you focus hard on that, you're going to really increase your chances of having a significant impact, a significant change in your business. And I think you're going to be closer to getting more sales and more traffic from the right people than you would if you try and talk to these two different audiences. The other audience can come, but let's get some results first. I always use the analogy of if you had this block of wood and 5 nails in it, and if you hit every nail one time, it takes a long time to get all 5 nails hammered in. But if you hit one nail time after time after time, then that's going to be hammered in really fast, and then you can move on to the next. But you're going to have reached a goal first, and I think that's important here. So let's answer your question about targeting. And I'm actually going to jump into my ads manager and tell you what I think about that. Now, you could continue with the targets that you've found to be the best, but I'm going to suggest that you do something different. And because I see so much focus on business owners, I think that you have to absolutely add small business owners or home office, both work, to your targeting as a behavior, and not as an additional interest or behavior, but as in a must also include. Now, the other thing I would say to you is that I think for someone like you, something like IKEA comes to mind really quickly, or even Wayfair. And here's why I say that. Because what happens if you've ever been to a trade show, in the setup phase, you will find that there are a ton of people that have IKEA stuff for their booth. And you know, if you're building a home office, lots of people will use IKEA stuff, and they might hack it, but they're using IKEA stuff. And so I think that's your customer. I really do. You know, when I would pull into a trade show, I'd go and, you know, we'd have all our stuff delivered, and myself and many others would have packages delivered straight from Wayfair or IKEA right to our booth at the trade show. And I think those are your people. So what I would suggest you try, and I think it's going to cost a little more, and I think it needs a longer runway, like a couple of weeks, but I would suggest that you target IKEA and must also match one of the following. So you could use small business, and you have to be careful here because you want the right small business. You want small business owners, right? Not people who have, so these are people who identify, not that one. People who list themselves as small business owners. And there's another one, small business owners. You could also, or instead, do home office or small office. I think they both come up. Home office, small office, people who've expressed an interest or like pages related. Home office, people in households that buy electronics for their home office software, printers, scanners, or other gadgets. I think that's perfect for you. And so we need to make sure it's and must also. The other one you could add, if you really wanted to get down deep, is just target Facebook page admins. People who have admin privileges on Facebook pages are generally business people, right? So that's another thing you could add on, you could layer on. Now, the other thing I would say to you is, again, longer runway for that, going to cost more, but I think it's more of your right people. Now, the other things I think you could test, I see this product as something a little edgy and cool for the innovator, for somebody who's likes to be the first to market with things. And so I think you're looking at targets like Apple with a behavior, TechCrunch, Tesla, Elon Musk, Kickstarter, and then maybe some modern furniture stores like All Modern or Room and Board or Article, something like that. But again, with that small business behavior. So you're not getting everybody, you're just getting those two things. So I think you need to do that. And so that answers your question, I hope. Now, I do want to take a look, though, at your site. I want to show everybody your site. And so here we are. This is your pop-up. And so I want to say first, the first thing I notice, and this isn't part of your homework, but the first thing I notice is that you really don't have a good tagline. And so your logo's great, shows that you're a design person for sure, but you need a tagline to talk about the benefit. This is an ideal place to give that message, and you need to do it more than once. You need to do it kind of everywhere. It's almost more important than your images. And so something like store your files in style, like something that shows the benefit, not what you have. What I have seen is we've turned the conventional style file storage on its head. That doesn't mean anything to anybody. They want to know what's in it for them, right? And so you need to give them what's in it for them. So I would say store my files on in style would be a good one. Now on your pop-up, instead of all this, you would say start storing or store your files in style today, and then get 10% off your first order, and away you go. Now the other thing I noticed with your pop-up is I feel like your callback should be up in the top right or the top left, not down here. It took me a while to find it. And so that's important. Now, so I think your biggest barrier to conversion is your messaging. I think the tagline will help, but I would also say you need to think about the questions. Make a big, long list of the questions that people ask you about the product, because those are all objections. And so you need to take the time to make a list of the questions. What is the answer, the quick answer, benefit driven, and you need to layer that through your copy everywhere, and your copy for your Facebook posts, your copy on your website. But you need to answer these objections through your website. And then the other thing you need to do is you need to have an FAQ that also lists those questions and answers it. Now, the last thing I would say that isn't part of your homework is this is not good. And I know you're having your site redesigned or updated. And so these should be proper social icons that actually take you to Facebook. And like this says 539, but I know you only have 115 likes. So I'm not sure what this is. You need to do a better job of connecting to social, and you need also a footer opt-in for your email list. And it needs to say something like, love cool office products, join our list, and we'll keep you updated. Something like that, a reason to sign up. So now let's talk about the homework, the 3 action steps. So the first thing, because you are having your site updated, we need to talk about your hero image. So 2 things. Oh, this happened again. Why does that keep happening? I think somebody's working on your site. Let's just try this. The upfiler. I know you are having it updated, and I wonder if that's why I'm not getting. Okay, so here's your homepage, and here's your hero image. I think the day of the slider over. I don't think we are holding people's attention spans long enough. And so what I would say to you is you want one really good aspirational image. So this is not an aspirational image, right? This is not an aspirational image. This is an aspirational image. And so you want one hero image. You could even crop in a little closer, but not necessarily. And in your case, I would recommend 2 calls to action on your hero image. One that says, get yours today, takes you right to the product pages. And the other is, see how it works. So I want you to do that. I think that'll make a big difference. People want to see the first thing, they want to imagine themselves with it. And so these images that doesn't do it, right? It doesn't make me imagine myself. So your first thing is to fix your hero image and get 2 CTAs on your hero image. Now that's your first thing. The second thing you want to do is the biggie, I guess. And it does not have to cost a lot of money, and it doesn't have to be necessarily professional, but you need video, a better video. You have one very short video, which is, I know, on your Facebook page, and I believe it's somewhere here, but you need a video for your product page. But you also need, where it says see how it works, you need a video for that. And what I would suggest is, again, for Office first, and I would suggest that it's maybe a time lapse of a cleanup. So it's maybe, you know, files everywhere, like my desk looks today, and how quickly you can put everything in your files, get them organized, and up on the wall where people can reach them, but they're not ugly. It's not messy. And I think that you could do that with a time lapse. And again, it has to be an aspirational office, right? It can't just be like a blank wall. It needs to be, people need to see that setting. So I think you need to do that video. And the other video you need to do is an installation video, because oh my gosh, what is this? This looks like that nasty piece of paper that we pull out from you know, the thing we bought at IKEA, and we're like, ooh. So what this needs to do is this needs to show them step 1, step 2, step 3. This is not a big deal. The hardware is included. Again, a video that could be time-lapsed. You want to say things like installs in under 15 minutes. All hardware is included. You know, these are the tools you need. You don't need 8 million different tools. The screws are there, that sort of thing. And so this might be for the really techie person who wants to read it, but I think you need a video, and then like it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, like an infographic, but not a PDF, but something here on your site. But this is a barrier to conversion, because people are like, oh yeah, I'll buy that, and it'll sit in a closet for 3 years. They need to see how simple it is for them to install it. So homework number 2 is 2 videos, installation video and a how it works video showing the transformation. Both are going to be the transformation. Comes in a box, it's up on your wall. You're going to show them how that happens and time. And then the messy desk, all your files are clean and up on the wall. So 2 videos. Now you can also take that one video, the transformation of your desk video, and you can run it on Facebook, and we can build you a really nice custom audience of of people who've watched that video for retargeting. And so I think that that will go a long way to making it affordable for you to reach your audience and really convert. Like probably on the second or third visit, you're going to see more conversions than on the first visit. So the third homework is your product pages. And so I will say that it's very evident that you are a designer of some sort. Well, this is the bamboo one. I just wanted to show the regular one. So your product copy is completely feature driven, and it needs to be benefit driven. And so again, it's about the transformation, right? Store your files in style. Hate having a messy desk, but have to keep your files near. Now you can, it's kind of like you can have your cake and eat it too, right? It's a whole paragraph, if not more, and maybe even some bullet points about how this is going to change their life. That's what gets people in, not the fact that it's turning file storage on their head or innovative. You've used it twice in a matter of 5 words. That's not what's going to get them. It's how it's going to change their life. So at least a paragraph on that. You might even want to do like an Office Depot where the specs are down here and that's where all the features are. Or you might want to do a bullet point list of features. I think the important things again are going to be, it includes all the hardware, installs in 15 minutes, no special tools needed, that sort of thing. This is just way too technical. You might want to say holds most files, and for details click here and tell them exactly what files it holds if you want. But I think it needs to be much more benefit driven. And I think the only other thing that I wanted to say to you, actually, while you're shooting your videos, get some before and after shots too, because those will be great for social media. They'll be great for product pages, and even for email. They'll be great for your email. So make sure you take some before and after shots still that you can use. So that's your 3 things. The last little tip I would give you is that I want you to go to Google Analytics and check, but I suspect that the majority of your traffic is mobile, like over 70% is my guess. And if that's the case, you need to look at this redesign on a phone. You cannot look at it on a desktop. You need to look at it on a phone because that's how most people are going to be viewing it. And so you want to design to mobile. Now, if that's not the case, then a little bit different, but I kind of doubt it. Anyway, I'm going to send you my notes with your 3 action steps. I would love to hear back from you. Let me know how it's going. If you have any questions about this, make sure you ask in the group and I will pay attention and give you my answers. And I want to thank you. Thank you for opening up your business so that everybody could learn. And thank you for being such a super participant in the inner circle. It really helps. It helped me that I had seen your journey. And so thank you very much. Anyway, good luck with this and we'll see you soon.